Greetings Internet, and today we're talking about the 2013 release Contracted, directed by Eric Englund. I think it's England. I've heard it pronounced England. I'm not dead sure. Regardless, this on the surface looks like a B-grade horror film. I'm here to tell you that based on what I saw, it's not that. It's more of an art piece. And I'll tell you why. Contracted is what we refer to as body horror, meaning it is the transformation or invasion of the body itself that creates the horror. It is a true horror movie as opposed to a thriller. And why it is that is because you're not afraid when you watch this movie. There are no scares. You're not jumping out of your seat. It's the quiet destruction of the self that drives this movie and continues to push it along. Now, it is something of a slow movie, and it's a slow movie for a particular reason, because you are trying to feel the world push in on the main character. You have the main character of Samantha, played by Nacherra Townsend. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm not dead sure. I actually tried to communicate with her for a proper pronunciation, but got no reply. But regardless, this is a very beautiful woman. If you look her up on IMDb, certainly a very beautiful woman. And probably where the film fails the most is that we don't see that so much. We get right to the transformation. But she is a party girl or an ex-party girl dealing with a broken relationship, dealing with a rough home life. She goes to a party and does what every person who's really down on their dumps at a party does. It gets laid. Or at least hopes to get laid. And true to the title of this film, she contracts something. Little does she know that this is something really, really bad. Now, through the course of this film, we see her falling apart as a person. That's the body horror aspect. Some people say that this is a feminist film because in the film she's depicted as a lesbian essentially brutalized by a man. I don't see this as that. When you look at this character, what is happening is she has a bad relationship that's established, and then there's the character of her mother. Her mother thinks she's on drugs, not sick. This is a key point. We don't see this in the beginning, we only learn it later, and we're almost confused by the actions of the mother in relating to this. She's asking for help, she's seeking help from her mother, and the mother doesn't give that help. Another scene I've seen a lot of reviewers highly criticize is the scene with the doctor. The doctor examining this person when she goes out there and asks for help from the medical world, doesn't wear gloves, goes out there barehanded. And people are saying, well, that's inaccurate. It's not inaccurate. It is a choice on the part of the director to show that this doctor does not care about the patient, does not see the deeper problem existing there, and does not understand what's happening because he doesn't care. There's even a character that admits to selling roofies, date rape drug. So we look at this is a world, a host of monsters. Each character, other than the primary character, is a monster. They're completely inhuman and horrible. All they are people trying to push on this main character to fit them into a mold that they don't fit into, and it's the act of their pushing that causes the disfigurement as much as the disease. This is an art film. It's meant to symbolize the struggle of a human being in the modern era. That's what I see. Now, I will make the statement, in this film there is one scene where you see a fly maggot, and during the rest of the film you see mealworms. Now, this is not a stylistic choice. The fly maggots would be more realistic, and the mealworms are just what generally they use to symbolize maggots in film.